There is something about that signature yellow paint that just screams serious business in a woodshop. When you walk up to this machine, you immediately notice the weight of it. It is not one of those flimsy saws that dances around the floor when you push a heavy piece of oak through the blade. The cast iron surface is ground down so smooth that your stalk practically glides across it, and that beveled edge is a nice touch that keeps things from snagging while you are maneuvering. It feels like a piece of equipment that was built to stay put for the next 30 years. Now, the real test for any saw like this is the fence. The AccuFence system on this model is honestly impressive. It locks down with a satisfying, solid click, and once it is set, it stays exactly where you put it. There is no annoying play or wiggle at the back end, which is usually where cheaper saws fall apart. You can trust your measurements, and that peace of mind is worth a lot when you are working on a project where every fraction of an inch matters. The 134 horsepower motor handles standard hardwoods without breaking a sweat. It is not an industrial beast meant for ripping thick slabs of green lumber all day, but for a professional contractor or a dedicated hobbyist, it is right in that sweet spot. The dual voltage option is a smart move, too, letting you run it on standard household power or bump it up to 230 volts if you have the shop set up for it. What stands out, though, is how they handled the safety features. The quick-release system for the riving knife and the blade guard is genuinely toolless. You do not have to go hunting for a wrench or fumble with tiny bolts just to switch over for a non-through cut. It is a small detail, but it is the kind of thing that actually encourages you to use the safety gear rather than tossing it in a drawer because it is too much of a hassle. The arbor lock is another one of those thoughtful additions. Being able to lock the blade from above the table saves you from that awkward dance of trying to hold two wrenches at once. If there is a gripe to be had, it is that the dust collection could be a bit more aggressive. While the 4-inch port is standard and does a decent job, you are still going to see some fine dust settling around the base if you are not hooked up to a really strong vacuum system. It is not a deal-breaker by any means, but it is something to keep in mind if you are trying to keep a pristine shop. Also, the melamine extension table is functional, but it does not quite have the same premium, indestructible feel as the rest of the cast iron deck. Still, when you look at the overall package, it is hard to argue with the precision. The miter gauge is surprisingly robust, with rack and pinion adjustments that feel much more refined than the sloppy plastic ones you find on entry-level gear. It is a machine that rewards you for taking your time and setting it up right. If you are looking for a saw that bridges the gap between a portable job site tool and a massive cabinet saw, this one hits that mark pretty comfortably. It is a solid, reliable workhorse that does exactly what it promises without any unnecessary fluff.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.